Okay, so let's look at YouTube. YouTube is absolutely huge, and it keeps on growing. It's the second largest search engine after Google. Did you know that?
Say it again.
YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. And guess who owns YouTube? I was fascinated by this. This is actually been back for several years now. People go to YouTube and run searches for information. I've never done that, but a lot of people do. In fact, more than any other search engines combined. So we want you there. We really don't want to ignore YouTube. It is a huge, huge factor. It's absolutely fantastic for search engine optimization, and you can get a video. Depending on your targeted keywords, how you're trying to get your video found, you can get it to show up page 1, and you can get it to show fast. The trick is getting it to stay. Because YouTube is growing so fast, because there's so much content being created and pushed out through YouTube, that getting a search result to stay for a very long time is pretty tough. Especially since I'm not the only one figuring out that YouTube is a high-value place to clean up. So do not miss out on this one. So let's talk about your action steps. Research. If you have the time and you have somebody that you feel is savvy enough to be able to go and do some research, have them spend an hour. Do some of this research that we talked about earlier. It's absolutely worth finding out what is going to be going on specifically in your community. Determine which social media platforms you are going to be using. Set up a posting calendar so you know exactly what you're going to be posting based on your strategy. So if you are going to have somebody do this in your office, make sure that you're all on the same page with what you're going to do, what your strategy is, and then you have this will take care of yourself. Start posting and don't stop. One of the worst things that you can do is get really active in social media, have a ton of content being pushed out there over and over again, and then it stops. People don't know why it stopped. It could just be that you're busy, which is a good thing. A lot of times people will look at that and think, oh, maybe they're out of business. Or maybe they're not interested in us anymore. People are weird that way. They feel like, well, I used to get information from you, but I don't know what happens. So don't stop. If you need to slow things down a little bit, feel free, but do not stop. And stop means nothing happens for a month or more. Don't let that happen. Keep it going. So I want to talk about review sites. These are social media sites because they are changed by people that interact with them. Like they're writing reviews, they are absolutely changing it. And people are looking for reviews. So you want to make sure that you're involved with these review sites. And I do have a lot of people that say, we're all set, we don't have to worry about reviews, we don't have any bad reviews out there. But then when you look a little deeper, you find they don't have any reviews. No reviews is almost as bad as bad reviews because people want reviews, they want to find out about your practice, they can't, they move on. So you absolutely don't want to go risk. So this is a recent change just in the last month and a half. Google is now serving up reviews when you search for vital information. You don't even have to ask for it. They're just automatically giving it to you. So you want to make sure that you're there. Start getting those good reviews now. That's one bad review. It will take months to overcome, and it can really cost a lot. So get the reviews coming now. And I'm not talking about doing one big campaign in your office where you get 200 reviews over the course of the month, and then you're done. You want to just have reviews trickling in, 1 or 2 every week, nice and steady. And that works really, really well. Almost all review sites have their own terms of service. And what they don't want you to do is buy reviews. Well, how are you going to get reviews if you're not asking for it or incentivizing people to give it to them? So they all say, well, it's going to happen organically. No, it's not. For marketers, we need to make it happen. And we need to make it happen now. So think of ways that you can do that. We'll talk about a few. I want to show you this search because this is what changed. When you search for, this was a local business. At the very bottom, review shows up. Everybody has one. And And what we're finding now is in different areas, you'll see the map listings. Those are your Google Plus listings. And then underneath it, only reviews. So if you aren't getting the map, you don't even have a chance of getting underneath the map. So the game continues to change. So let's make sure that we are considering those review sites. So some statistics for you. Surveyed more than 2,000 U.S. internet users conducted by ComScore, which is a huge company that does this kind of research, revealed that they are willing to pay more if you have an out review. 20% more. That's shocking. But that's something that you really want to consider. So if you have a 5-star excellent rating, no matter where it is, you can be charged a little bit more than the competition. They don't have the same thing. Okay. And then 1 out of every 4 internet users report that using online reviews prior to paying for services delivered offline. So a lot of times I hear people say, well, reviews are really, if they're looking for reviews, they're going to buy something online. But they're not true. People that are looking to make a purchase to do something offline are checking online for reviews first. 97% said the reviews were accurate. So you have a bad review, people assume that it's true. Even though it's probably somebody that got upset, something happened, they forgot to pay for 6 months, and suddenly you're looking for that. And then they start saying bad things about you online. When it's online, it's forever. And I have had people say, well, can't we just hire a lawyer and get that removed? Well, the lawyers are like that because they get paid a whole lot to do it, and I've never seen one win. And even if it gets removed, it's just zeros and ones on a server. It might pop up someplace else later. So it's kind of fragile. So what you want to do is you want to get in front of it, or if it's too late, you have a review, start reacting to it. Start getting those positive reviews. Because there is some value to having real reviews, and so that they're not just all glowing about it. Having what's called damaging admission. It's a marketing term that is used all across the board in all industries, where by saying to someone, yes, we make mistakes, we have flaws, and here's what you did to correct the mistake, that is more valuable than you're the best, you're wonderful, you're the best, you're wonderful, you're wonderful. Because that looks kind of like maybe a movement. So think of it that way. The other thing that is interesting is that this social interaction on the internet is causing people to kind of shift, where they think that because they're generally seeing information from friends, quote unquote friends, even though they have like 600 friends on Facebook and too, their friends are writing those reviews, so they must be true. People that don't know who people are, don't know if it's just some competitor that's nothing to look at, they still somehow think it's true. So I want you to consider that. Still not sure about review sites? Let's dig a little bit deeper. Here's just 10 things that I want you to consider. Fortune 500 company executives believe in reputation management, meaning actively managing how you are viewed online with your reviews. 58% said that they believe in it, and only 15% actually do anything about it. That was interesting. So let's get in front of that 60% to do something about it, and it'll be done in your office. Professional markets say trust is now becoming the #1 factor in making sales. Trust. And you're probably going to see a lot of these books now, either on Amazon or on the bookshelves, trust-based marketing. It's become a very popular keyword, or well, it is a keyword, but a marketing term. Trust-based marketing. So you can get positive reviews and a couple of little negative ones that aren't all that damaging. That's building trust. And you don't have to do anything before it. Most marketers feel that this is just going to get more and more important. Most people use social media to decide what to buy. 4 out of 5 people stated they received advice via social media regarding what product or service to purchase. That is fascinating. And I do not think that's going to go away. So absolutely get in front of that. You can probably see on the bottom. Actually, this is all few statistics that I did find a lot of this. Social proof is powerful. And people are seeking it out. It used to be that we created what we call social proof, having reviews on your website, having video reviews on your website, on YouTube, and all these other places. That would create that social proof that you needed. And now people are seeking it out elsewhere. So let's get in front of it. More and more large companies are hiring full-time online reputation managers. I don't think that you should go hire somebody for $38,000 to $72,000 I was shocked. I did not know that you could make that kind of money just managing reviews. Now, this is a big corporation, obviously. That was kind of shocking. So again, this is not a fad. This is absolutely highlighting. More adults are on social media than anything. So again, the adults and people that don't want thinking good things about you are on social media and they are on the public trusts social media. Again, because of the terms, friends. Even if they've never met them or talked to them outside of social media, they're your friends. So if they've given some advice, they've given some reviews, they must be true. It is more than no. 16% of all internet users have looked online for more information about some of their dating information. Sorry, that was fascinating. So if something's this personal, they are willing to check out online first, and then they're going to check you out. I just could not believe that, 16%. So yes, so absolutely. People are using social media to gain an edge in the competition. So it's either you're getting an edge on you or you're getting an edge on them. So really take this seriously. 31% of employed internet users have searched online for information about coworkers, professional colleagues, or business competitors. So they're not randomly thinking, maybe I should check online. People are actively looking online for this information. And they're coming up with reasons to look online to see what happens. Employees feel pressure to manage their online reputation. This is pretty amazing to me. 12% of employed adults say they need to market themselves online as part of their job. So they need to manage their online reputation as part of what they do. Amazing. Social proof. Right? Supreme in traditional advertising is dying. And that's what we talked about, push versus pull advertising, outbound versus inbound, interruption versus permission. Alright, what does all this mean to you? Let's make this nice and simple. What procedures do you currently have in your practice to gain reviews? Does everyone have something in their practice that says, this is what we do to get reviews? Okay, have that. Put that in place. It's not, you don't have to spend a month trying to figure it out. You can get a little business card, you can get postcards, you can put a little flyer on your desk, you can put a little anything to get people to give you those reviews. Then you want to make sure that you train your team so that they kind of know how to stop the people they should be asking reviews for. So, obviously the person that is, hasn't paid in 6 months, you don't want to say, please write us a review on it. It really helps out. You want to be talking about some people that are growing. Some people are going to go do it on their own. Some people need to be asked. There's lots of ways that you can do that. Yes?
We're talking about videos and iPads, so they can like us right there. They can also they can go they can want to say something.
Yeah, so what she's suggesting is having an iPad in the office where you can get people to like you on Facebook or other social media, and you can also use that to ask for a review on the spot. So when it comes to social media, there is some value there. I get a little nervous about it because what happens is, just like we all agree, we tend to forget to log out. So make sure that if you have that, there's somebody who's in charge of keeping track of that item. Not because it's going to get stolen, but because they're going to forget to log out. And now, my little Johnny, I saw that Sarah, I have access to Sarah's account. They put some terrible stuff. You just don't want that business. You just don't want that. So if you're going to do it, be really careful about it. Then when it comes to, let me just finish. Then when it comes to the reviews, that iPad is running off what's called an IP address. So when they write the review on the iPad, and it's even though they log into their account to write the review, or they create an account to write the review, it is going to be filtered. It will not show because they're all coming from the same IP address. Now, some people they're so active on these review sites that even if it's the same IP address, it'll show up in the search results, it'll stick. But what we're finding is that if these are people that are just creating an account, they've never had one, or they've posted one review, those reviews don't. So there's algorithms that all of these sites use to look for what they consider fake reviews, and that's one of the ways that I do this. Question? Have you seen something different, or is that? Yeah, that's what we keep seeing. And I've actually, one of the things that companies are doing now is you can put an iPad in an office, put it like a big pedestal or something, and then what you do is rather than have them post the review directly to their accounts, you have them post it to a site where you capture the review, and then you get their permission to post it for them. Gray area when it comes to terms of service. But still high value, so you're not breaking any laws. As long as you get that approval, that permission, it's not a bad way to go. Then you have to make sure you have a review site where you can go to where you can capture all of that and then push that out. So incentivize your team lunch if you meet the goal. If every month you want to have 5 new reviews. Big lunch, high value stuff, absolutely high value. Internal competition with other prizes. This is a way just to kind of get you juices flowing for how you can get more reviews in your office that really will not cost you much. Paid time off, I find this interesting. There's a lot of people who would rather have a paid day off than as valuable sometimes. Yeah, we all like this. So there's other things. Has anyone ever done this before? Anyone ever had something work? Either incentives? No? Do these feel like you can do them? Oh, I'm really not that idea. I'm sure you can come up with something as well. Okay. You can provide a thank you gift to patients who actually write your reviews. And it's a matter of training. Right? So we actually create these little business cards where you can hand them out and it walks them through how to write your review. And what you do is you make sure that the team knows that you're not saying, hey, we'll give you $5 to write us a good review. Say, we'd love for you to share your information with others online. This really helps us out. So if you don't mind writing a review for us, as a way to say thank you, we would like to give you this $5 review or 10 or whatever it is. So it's just a nice way of making sure that they know you're saying thank you for writing an honest review. You don't say, write us something good and pay you. So we want to say thank you for taking the time, because it's time. And people are, they don't have a lot of time, even though it's all on their phone. Google used to be great. We could just give you a little code, it would scan right in, go to your phone, and you could write everything. They took that away because they wanted to use their app. Well, we don't have any way to launch your app on your phone. So that's even more of a step that we're asking you to take. So do say thank you. Email all your applications from the link to your review sites. Does everyone have some kind of a way they can broadcast email? Like Sesame, Teledocs, Smile Reminder, any of those lines, you can send out an email. And then you give a link. Click on it and write your review. If someone has written you a negative review, and you know who it is, most of the time it's anonymous, if you do know who it is, see about contacting them. Ask them if there's anything you can advise the issue. This is a whole lot cheaper than hiring a lawyer or getting upset every single time. Go to your name. Ask them if you can fix it. If you can, when it's resolved, see if they'd be willing to modify it. Ask if you're willing to modify it. It's worth a shot. Okay, action steps. Plan your listings. Yelp especially. We kindly refer to Yelp as the evil empire. They have a very strict algorithm that filters reviews. And it filters, right now, we're finding it's filtering about 80% of our reviews. Legitimate reviews that have done at people's homes with their accounts, and they're being filtered because they're good reviews. Well, people respond more and click more of the negative reviews. So those are the ones that show up in search results, and those are the ones that get people to Yelp. Yelp is an advertising company. So what's going to happen is you're going to claim your listing in Yelp, and then they're going to call you a lot. And they're going to give you all kinds of great reasons why you should give them a whole big bunch of money every month to have a better listing on Yelp, to have a video and all this great stuff. And I recently talked to them. They gave me some numbers on how many searches you're going to get, and they were 5 times higher than the actual searches on Google. So I was a little surprised by that. But then they tell you, yeah, we'll help you out with some of those negative reviews. What help us out? What does that mean? You get rid of them? I'll pay for that. Well, no. But we'll help you. It feels really uncomfortable to me the way that they're kind of doing this. But it's all perfectly legal, all very above board. They will not remove any negative review, but they will help you. And I still have to figure out how they're going to help you other than stop filtering other good reviews. So maybe that's worth it. But definitely claim it, because then you can respond. All right, Google Plus Local, absolutely. If you haven't claimed your listing Google Plus Local, do it like before the end of the day. Absolutely. It's very easy to do. Reply to any and all reviews, good or bad. If you have a negative review out there, you want your voice to be heard as well. And you can't do that if you haven't claimed your listing. So claim your listing, respond. And you don't want, you don't say it's a terrible, horrible person who wouldn't pay your bill, and you don't want to say terrible things. If you know what happened, give your side of the story and say, we'd sure like to make it right. Here's what we want. Camera. All right. Set up Google Alerts. If you're not familiar with Google Alerts, all it does is it looks for keywords that you put in there. So you put in your name, business name, you want to review with or without. And anytime that comes up, it just puts it all into one what's called aggregator. So you can just log in and look at everything that came up on your name. And you can have it sent to you every day. Every time your name comes up, every week, you can set it up every month. So you can keep track. Create a system to gain those online reviews in your practice. I know we talked about a few ideas. I really want to hear how you can take advantage of that. Questions, thoughts, concerns?
We have a review page on our website. That's beneficial as having reviews show up on these external sites.
No, I wish it were. That's why I started out by saying, it used to be that you could create that social proof on your own. You could create it on your website. But people are actually seeking out review sites now. One of the things, I think I have an image of it. Yeah. So the results that we are shooting for is to control what somebody finds when they're looking for reviews on you. And we can actually, what are called point links, to your website with the word review in it. So that if they're looking for reviews on you, we might be able to get that page, that review page to show up. But you don't want to say, well, I got that, I should be able to send it. That's not helpful. Yeah. You're welcome.
This is all games, and so who sets the ethics for the game? And like I've heard things like when you have your fan page, we have one that's established, you can't like push out contests and stuff for your page. But you see it every morning when you wake up on the news. Channel 4 is telling you that they want more Facebook fans to do a racial and brown ballots. So what's the truth on that one? Can you advertise contests on there or not?
Yes and no. How's that for the perfect marketing answer? You done? Good? No, I'm going to cover that in detail. Yeah, so what you're hearing about is not violating their terms of service. And if you are using an app on Facebook to run your contest, that app can't run without being following their terms of service. So you can advertise it any way you want. What you can't do is run a contest on Facebook with no app, nothing that's following their terms of service. Advertise it all over the place. Says, do this on Facebook to get that. They're not in any control of it. That is violating their terms of service, and they can shut down your page.
So let's just use an example. I mean, most of us in this room are probably cumulative orthodontists, pediatric dentists, endodontist, whatever they are. So, you're just having your Halloween pumpkin carving contest, right? And, you want to, talk about it or whatever. So we've always done it through our
Facebook. I'm sorry, you want to go?
I want to know, can I promote that contest on Facebook?
No.
Okay, there you go.
How's that? You can. You can announce winners on Facebook as long as you don't say the Facebook winners.
How about that? Like if you say, we are having an in-office contest, when you come in for your report.
I mean, we're getting to the most critical question.
Yes.
What do we put in office?
You promote it in your office.
But if we put it on Facebook, that's an in-office contest.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You can't promote a Facebook contest on Facebook without following the terms of service. And that requires software. Does that make sense? What's that? Right, well, I'll sell you something. Yeah, you bet. But if you don't want to do that, if you want something quick, like what you said, make most of it in your office. It can run essentially on Facebook, but you can't advertise it on Facebook as a Facebook contest. It's paid, I know. And a lot of people say, oh, you know, I'm a small business, small office, Facebook doesn't care. Well, they probably don't. But you don't want to be the one that they do. And
It's not based on trust, right?
right. Right, well, yeah, transparency. Yeah. So we just went ahead and purchased all of this software. So we can run these contests super cheap. And instead of, because what happens is you buy software from a company like Devine, and they get it all set up. Your software's like $300 something to put that on your site. And then they're going to charge you $500 something to get your contest all set up and running. And then if you ever want to do it again, you're going to start all over. So we're trying to okay, know what you need, we'll put it on there, on and off, make it super cheap. So we're always looking for ways to make your life a little easier. But if you don't want to spend money, just don't make it a Facebook contest.
Okay, I understand. The second question I have is also in the other offices in this room get them, but we get them all the time. The robocalls to authenticate our Google listing.
Like 3 times a day.
Okay, and I just ignore it and hang up, but, I mean,
Yeah.
are those marketing companies?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, so let's say I'm helping you claim your listing. I'm going to call you and say you're going to get an automated call from Google, and it'll have I think it's a 6-digit code. Make sure you don't hang up on us. Write it down. Contact me with your email as well. But you will have to get that verification code in order to claim that listing. So if you hire somebody to do that and they're trying to get you verified and you're getting all these calls you're hanging up on, it's slowing down the process. If you've already verified your listing, that's all marketing. Just pay marketing. Yes.
On the contest,
Yes.
when we first set up our Facebook page, we put a sign in the office and said, we're giving away something if you like us on Facebook, but we didn't put it on Facebook. We pushed it out on an email through Sesame.
Yes.
And then we just printed out all those likes, drew the winner, and said our office contest winner is.
Yeah.
And we got like 300 likes.
Great video.
So that,
Great video. Yeah, and that's exactly what I have one of our clients do, because they were going to do it on Facebook, and I'm like, you have such an active Facebook page.
yeah.
So that's what we did. Works great. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying don't create a Facebook contest on Facebook without following their terms of service. It's just not worth it. It's free. Don't let it go away. Okay? All right. So I just wanted to show this real quick because this is what we're trying to do, is to give you back control over your image, your reputation. And when you've got something bad out there, if we can actually get almost all the page, that's what we want. So what's happened with this one is we couldn't get that first one. There's a couple good reviews on there. All the rest, we're in control of. We created, we pushed out. So that's what you can do. If you are getting those reviews and you're asking for those reviews and you're putting them out in all over the places, you can be in control of what people see. Highly valuable. Okay.